Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and as you can see, if you normally watch my videos, I am not at home. I am back home with my family and my cats, and I had to do a reading vlog, obviously. I love filming here, I love filming in this room, I love filming my cats, so I just want to do this reading vlog, so I don't think there's going to be a specific theme to it. I literally just want to have fun. I want to read whatever I want to read and show you, what I'm up to here and whatever. I am extremely behind on editing, so I have no idea when this is going to go up. But it's going to go up at some point, and I'm very happy to be here. So I'm here for 10 days. I'm feeling wonderful, and I just want to share the vibes, and yeah. So I feel like I haven't filmed in ages, but okay. Let's talk about some slight plans. As for physical reading, I have no idea really, because I basically took 2 historical romances here that I want to read for 2 specific reading vlogs, so I don't necessarily want to include that in here. And as for physical books, as you can see, obviously, I have a bajillion books behind me, but shockingly, I've actually read a lot of them, and some of them on these shelves, that is sort of my TBR from the most part, and the rest I have almost read. But these are kind of like the least exciting books in my TBR. Not all of them, some of them are exciting, so I just need to like dig those out, but some of them are just kind of the books that like I don't want to get rid of, but I've had them for years. Didn't feel the urge to like move them, so obviously it's not gonna be like the most exciting shit on earth since I already have my phone here. I think I'm gonna read The Devil You Know by Elizabeth O'Rourke. So this is an adult romance, and I've wanted to read this for ages. I love this series. I've read the first and second book, so obviously this is the third. I read 14%. I have really been in the mood for Kindle Unlimited romances, and yeah, this is like a hate to love lawyer romance. And so oh my god, I have been actually doing so great, but my reading, not so much. I've been like in such a mood, like I've been getting in a really strong mood again to read, but just so distracted, I have not been able to finish anything ever. And so I really need to find books that are like the most exciting possible, which is why that shelf does not work, because even though it might have books that I'm going to enjoy, it's just not books that I'm dying to read. However, I took out this book from my shelf, which is A Crown of Wishes by Roshani Chokshi. I have attempted to read this book for so long, so many times, it's honestly fucking ridiculous. But first of all, look at this character art. I bought this book really expensive like 2 or 3 years ago. There was some kind of like an anniversary from the first book in this duology, but like it's standalones. I only own this one, and I haven't read the other one, but I'm just gonna read this. And so absolutely gorgeous character art, and on top of that, the copy I got is signed. So like, how can I own such a beautiful thing and not read it? One of my friends told me so many times to read this book, and I have not. It's like, if you ever recommend me a book, I'm either gonna read it immediately or never. Like, there's no in between, but I'm determined. I think I'm gonna love this. It might be a little bit difficult to get into, but I feel like I just need to push through, and then it's gonna be beautiful. All I know, it's supposed to be like a fantasy romance is all I know. I don't know literally anything else, but it's time. Like, I need to read something magical and beautiful and romantic. I don't know. So we're gonna attempt this. Heidi, one of my cats, is in my bed right now, like right there. So I'm gonna show her in a second. And yeah, so I'm gonna shut up. I will talk to you soon when I read some more.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around.
everyone, so it's time for an update. It's been a couple days, but it's finally time to talk about some books and what I've been up to and whatever. So I was out quite a lot and I have not read super a lot, but I bought a book, and I read a book. So we're doing great and I'm having fun. And yeah, so I don't know if this angle is okay. I'm wearing this thing, it's my mom's. It's fluffy and it's warm. It is pretty cold here and there's a storm outside right now. Anyways, so the book that I found at the bookstore, I have been looking for months at, bookstores that I went to because I knew that they had stock of this author, but they only had her first book over and over again, and I was waiting. And then I was at this bookstore that I always go to when I'm here, and they have stepped up their game so much in their English section. And I was like roaming the shelves thinking, there is a book I've been wanting to find, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. And then I saw the author's name, which is Abby Jimenez, and I saw the first book that I kept seeing before in the bookstore, and I thought, oh shit, wait, that is the one that I've been looking for. And then I look next to it and I saw the spine and I was like, is that the name of the book that I've been looking for? Indeed, it was. So I had to see the front cover because that's like what I've been seeing the whole time that I've been hearing people talk about this book. But that is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. So I have not tried this author's books before. If I love this as much as I'm hoping I will, I think I'm gonna go back and read this whole series, but I've been hearing people talk about this one and it sounded like everything that I would love, and so I've been wanting to find it physically, and I wanted to buy one book, you know, because like I was like, I'm on a trip, I want to buy one book. I don't have space for more, but I bought this, you know, I've been looking for it and it found me. And I'm so happy. So we are going to be reading this. So I think that is actually the physical book that I'm going to focus on. We'll see if I finish it here or whatever. But I'm super excited. It's supposed to be just like a beautiful romantic, emotional romance, and like what more could I ask for? So very, very excited about this. So the book that I finished is an audiobook that I ran into. I started getting in a middle grade and YA mood. And so I flew through, let me find the book. I flew through Zara's Rules for Record-Breaking Fun by Hannah Khan. So I've read multiple books by Hannah Khan before, loved them, and so I saw this, and the cover is super cute, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it. It's a super short audiobook as well, and so I flew through it, I read it in one sitting, and it was really cute. It's basically just like a super lighthearted middle grade about, you know, just kind of like learning some lessons and friendships and just like following your heart and, you know, doing what makes you happy and like learning to be selfless a little bit and thinking of other people's emotions and like all of those little, like all of those things. Definitely is like obviously a middle grade that does read young as it like is meant to, but even as an adult, like I still really enjoyed it. It was still super cute and heartwarming, but it does read really young. So like if you don't like that, and if you don't like middle grade that are just like lighthearted and cute and sweet, then this would not be for you. But if you love that, definitely pick it up. I would definitely recommend it to kids. You know, like I think any child could really enjoy this, to be honest. And like it's a very like general story, but like still has well-developed characters, if that makes sense. And it has Muslim representation, and it is just super sweet and amazing, and I really liked it. So it does have 2 other books. I don't know if it's a good idea to read them all together. I kind of feel like it might be, but I'm also like, I need to be in the right mood for them, and I still think I am, but whatever, we'll see about that. A book that I found that sounds really good is Mirror to Mirror by Rajani LaRocca, and that is a book that's written in verse. So I've been trying to find books written in verse, which is how I found the Hina Khan book, but it's not actually written in verse. But this one is written in verse, and it's supposed to be about sisters. Yeah, I think this one is going to be like more hard-hitting, and I am in the mood for adult romance, because when am I not, you know? So, I don't know. I'm like in a really strong reading mood, but also like all over the place. I don't know what I want. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. I do think I'm gonna read another audiobook today, but I do also want to get started on the Part of Your World. So today I went to the movies with my mom and my sister, and we watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and I actually really loved it. I was really excited about it, and I feel like I have not been excited for the movies at the cinema like at all recently, and it's honestly heartbreaking because it's like one of my favorite things to do in life. And I just feel like the movies have been like sucking a lot, you know, like there hasn't been a lot of options, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. But this one I was really excited for. I have never played the game. I don't know anything about that. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what, that looks really fun, and it was really fun. I loved the found family, and it was just like really entertaining. And I really liked the characters, and it was exactly what I wanted. So before I shut up, there are two books that I want to mention to you that are not necessarily for this video, but one of them I don't know if I'm going to have in another video. I haven't quite figured it out, and the other one I'm just going to mention very, very briefly, which is another book that I finished, but I read it for a different video, and that is This Time It's Real by Anne Liang. So I finished it yesterday, and I loved it. It is a YA contemporary romance. It has fake dating in it. The male main character is an actor, and the female main character, Eliza, basically writes an essay about this like love story that she's been experiencing that is a lie that she made up, and then she asks Kaz to fake date. And so that is the premise. Super cute, super fun. Just like a wonderful, fun YA romance, and I definitely recommend it if you like fake dating. It's also set in Beijing, and it's just really great. So I just wanted to quickly mention that. I'm going to talk about it in another video. But the book that is the other one is Kismet Connection by Ananya Devarajan, and this is a book that I have an arc of that I just fell in love with the cover. It's so beautiful. I am obsessed with this book, so I'm pretty much halfway through. I've been reading it for a while, slowly for some fucking reason, even though it's a book that like is giving me like binge reading vibes. I just have not been binge reading it because like I have not been in a binge reading mood because I've been too busy or distracted, but I'm loving this book so much. So this is actually also fake dating, and I love it. It is wonderful. It is like top tier YA contemporary romance. And you know what? I might as well just fucking vlog about it in here because like I wanted to feature it somewhere else. But I'm here, I'm reading it, and I do think I'm going to be finishing it very soon because at this point I don't want to wait on reading it, and I do want to just inhale the rest. We have our two main characters who are best friends. So they're best friends, like actually really close. They've known each other from, you know, when they were little. Their families know each other. They have a super strong bond. They know everything about each other. And so their Madhuri's auntie gives them like a reading of like their future and, you know, things that are fated to happen to them. And it's basically like about falling in love and whatever, and Madhuri is like, this is absolutely not, like, this is not gonna happen, you know, like, I don't want this. She is a very, like, prickly, angry, stubborn, headstrong female character, and I love her. And I feel like she's the kind of character that some people are gonna complain about, but I think she is so well developed and so real. And, like, characters like her are super important, and I love her. Anyway, so she is just, like, really against this, and she wants to date Arjun so that, because she's like, she's never gonna fall in love with him, they're definitely gonna break up, it's not gonna work out, so she's gonna prove that the fate is wrong, and it's just, like, bullshit. And, you know, it's all gonna go according to plan, and she's gonna have everything she wanted. And obviously that's not gonna happen. And on top of that, Arjun is in love with her from the beginning. So we have the like boy obsessed falls first trope, and he is like the sweetest. He is such a cinnamon roll. I love him so much. He's so soft and caring and kind. And it's definitely Grumpy Sunshine, and like, you know, with obviously the female character being the grumpy one. And I feel like it is wonderful. So I do think that at the beginning I was a little worried that it's going to end badly, and that like Madhuri was a little bit like too harsh and a little mean. But I actually feel like it's, so far the story feels so real, and it's for some reason giving me really strong feelings to how I felt when I read My Mechanical Romance, which is like a super different story. And like so many differences, but the way it made me feel is just like, I adored that book. It's one of my favorites, and I feel like this is becoming another one of my favorites. And I didn't say that it's an arc that I have, so it's not out yet, but it should be soon. I'm gonna look that up. It actually feels like they have super strong feelings for each other, and I'm just rooting for them so hard. And I feel like in YA Contemporary, it's not always the case. Like, I love YA Contemporary romance, even as an older, like, even though I'm in my 20s, and obviously not a teenager anymore, I still feel like I connect to it, and I still just enjoy reading it. It's fun and whatever. But I feel like in YA Contemporary, it is a little harder, I feel like, or just not, like, a lot of writers don't manage to fully make the romance, like, 100% believable, and, like, 100% that, like, they are meant to be together, they are perfect for each other, and you feel so much for the characters. Like, I feel like most of the time, it's just like, it is fun, it is great, I still love it, but like, it is not fully like, wow, this is incredible. And this feels like that. This feels incredible. And so I think that is my main plan. And you know, that is the book that I'm supposed to be reading. That is the answer. Everyone, so super quick car update. The lighting is trash, but I love filming in the car, but I also don't have time because we're going to the coffee shop at 7 with my mom and my sister, which I need to leave right now to get there on time. But I just got my nails done. This lighting is not gonna show that right, but love them. Got them super short, shorter than I planned. So that feels really weird, but they're really cute. I like them. I'm gonna go get home and I'll talk to you soon tonight.
Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to you now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to you now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Like we can do nothing at all. So what?
It is the next day, and I have done some reading, and we have a lot to catch up on. So let's go over everything. The book that I need to tell you about is Mirror to Mirror by Rajani LaRocca. So this is a book that I listened to on audio. Very short. It is written in verse, and it took me like an hour or something to listen to. And so I didn't update you while I was listening because, you know, I'm trying to take that easy as well because I feel like sometimes I just put too much pressure on that. And, you know, it's fine if I just sometimes just read, you know, and like not update you every single second. So this book is a middle grade contemporary romance, and it focuses basically on the story of two sisters, Chaya and Maya, who basically are twins, and they have been close their whole lives. They tell each other everything. They're just like best friends, and they basically start drifting apart because Maya is kind of facing some like mental health issues and so much anxiety that like she's isolating herself and not really fully communicating, and so they drift apart. And then there's a part of the story where they pretend to be the other person during camp, and so that all happens. And I loved this. It is a very quick story that I still feel like was really meaningful. And if you have been looking for books that focus on relationships that are not romantic, you need to pick this up. Like, there is just like wonderful, you know, obviously the central sister relationship, but then some friendships and like family also relationships, all of that. I loved it so much. It was just like really sweet and meaningful. There were so many important messages. And I'm in such a weird reading mood. Like, I'm obviously in the mood for romance, but I'm also like in the mood for the middle grade books that I have some others. I don't know if I have another one in a verse. And I don't want to overdo it because I feel like every single time I just get in the mood to read it and I read so much of it that then I don't read it for ages. But at the same time, I want to make the most of it, so I kind of want to pick up another one. I do have another, like, last book that I've started that I am close to finishing, and that is The Guy for Me by Marzi Opal. So this is a adult romance novella, and it is also best friends to lovers, and they basically met online and they've been like messaging each other for a while, and they finally meet in person and things go on from there. I was really excited about it when I heard the premise, but it doesn't really show any of their like texting or any of that. It just kind of starts when they're supposed to meet. And I don't fully love it because I feel like we never really got to see how their friendship developed. And so I don't fully find the friendship believable. But like the romantic development of the relationship, I am enjoying it. It is still a very quick and easy read. I am at like almost 60%. So like I've still read it super fast. And I like it. It's just like I don't love it, you know? But it definitely has some potential and I'm excited to finish it. So I'm gonna go read that, and I think I'm gonna give you some more thoughts on that after I finish it. But yes, so that is what's been happening. And I also did not fully show you the nails, but it's still not gonna be, it's sparkly, but it's not showing on camera. But they're also the shortest I've ever had them, which feels really weird. But it's like, it's chill, whatever. Hi everyone, so it is time for an update. I'm gonna try to make this quick, and I might speak a little quietly because it is 12:30 right now. So I've done a lot of reading and I'm so happy because I'm feeling like myself when it comes to reading right now. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like it's just been so confusing and weird. And I'm just in such a strong reading mood. I'm reading so much. I'm loving the book so much. I feel like I'm really like present at reading, and it's awesome. So I finished The Guy for Me by Marzi Opal. So I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed the second half. The beginning, I don't fully remember what I told you, but my main issue in the beginning was that I didn't really believe the friendship that they had for each other, and I wished that it showed more of the like texting and how they became friends and just like all of that, because like I just did not really feel like they were close, and the writing, I was just not vibing with it at first. But the second half, when their relationship developed and the romance, you know, started to like take off, it like got really fun, and it was really sweet and steamy, and it is quite like a soft romance, and I really enjoyed it. It does have positive plus size representation within both of our main characters. It does deal with internalized fat phobia in the case of our hero quite a bit, so if that is something that you don't want to read about, it does deal with it a lot. But I do think like it definitely deals with the whole situation in like a positive way that, you know, makes sure that he becomes happier and more comfortable in his own skin and all of that. And so yeah, it was just a really nice story. I'm really glad that I read it. It is on Kindle Unlimited, I did not say that, and so I do recommend it. It was really nice, and I will definitely be checking out the author's future books. So we read that. Then I did start a middle grade book written in verse, and that is Red, White, and Whole by Rajani LaRocca. So I did not finish it yet. I got to 28%, but I think I'm going to actually talk to you about it tomorrow because I feel like I don't have enough brain cells to talk about it right now. And since it's a book written in verse, like not that much has happened in the past 28%. And I feel like I'm just going to describe it better if, when I finish it. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And to make things more interesting, I started The Devil You Know by Elizabeth O'Rourke, and I got to 48%. So what a combination. I don't know why, I always find it really funny when I just read like a middle grade contemporary and an adult romance that is like really, like unserious and like steamy and fun and whatever. I don't know. Anyway, the duality, like we love to see it. Like, anyway, I've been wanting to read this book for ages. I really love the series. And I started it, but again, my reading mood, I just was not really in the mood, and I've been terrible at finishing things, and I've just been starting a million things. So I picked it up, and let's just say we will not be stopping. So I've been reading for a while now, and I kind of want to keep reading, so I will probably read a little more in bed and then finish the book tomorrow, but I'm loving it. So it's basically an adult romance, obviously, and it's about our two main characters who are both lawyers, and it's like a hate to love, constantly, a lot of banter and tension, and it's so fun. So it's an office romance, which we fucking love to see. Do I particularly like your lawyers and reading about them? No. But am I really loving it in this book? Yes. So it's super fun. I also have a complicated relationship with hate to love romance, because I feel like in contemporary settings, it's really difficult for it to be written in a way that works for me, because I am a very sensitive reader and so sometimes it just crosses a line, and I do feel like there are a few moments that are not amazing in this, but I do feel like they address it, they apologize, they go over it, whatever, and so I'm really enjoying it. The tension is incredible. I love Elizabeth O'Rourke. However, the main complaint I have with all of her books, I don't know if it's all of them, but it is the series, it only has one point of view from the heroine. And I hate that. Like, I absolutely hate that. And I do feel like the heroes feel very similar in each book. And the fact that we don't get their point of view does not help to make them feel like their own person. So that is like, that sucks. But I was still really enjoying it. Obviously, like, I love the two main characters. They have so much chemistry. It's so fun. Like, that's it. It was just super fun, addicting. Lighthearted. The banter is really funny and really smart, I feel like, and witty, and so I'm absolutely here for it. So I'm gonna read some more, I'm gonna go sleep, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
But if you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong. But you and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. But you and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me that you're fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me that you're fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
I did finish two more things, so let's talk about that. So I finished Red, White, and Whole by Rajani LaRocca, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, it was such a beautiful story. So let's talk about what it's about, because I didn't tell you that last time. So it is a middle grade contemporary, and it is about Reha, who basically finds out that her mother has leukemia. So it is a very, very sad, difficult story that obviously deals with cancer and loss of a parent. And so if these topics are triggering to you, be careful going into it, because like, it is a middle grade book, and so it's written in a way that doesn't like feel completely devastating, but obviously it is still absolutely heartbreaking. And I felt like it was so beautifully written. It won some kind of an award, and I can definitely see why. So it is written in verse, and it is just so beautiful. Like, It is a heartbreaking story, but there's so much hope in it, and I just loved the way that it was written. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's just something about it that just like hit me so hard, and in a way that like I cried, but it was just like a necessary kind of cry. You know, I've been trying to get myself to read some more sad books because I've been like avoiding that for a long time, and with things that, you know, are topics that like are kind of personal to me. It is the hardest, obviously. I have had cancer in my family, and so that is something that I have not read about almost at all. And it's not something that I necessarily like want to read more of, but I think I'm really glad that I read this, and I do want to try to dip my toes into some other books that are sad, and I feel like Middle Grade is such an incredible way to do that because, like I said, obviously it is a book written for children, and you know, the ones that are written well, obviously, like, they deal with the topic and it doesn't stay away from like the pain of it and the reality of it, but it's still kind of like wrapped up in hope and ways to cope that I think are really powerful. And so if you have been wanting to read books about like painful topics, no matter what it is, I feel like Middle Grade is such an incredible way to do that. 5 out of 5 stars, loved it, cannot wait to read more books by this author. Obviously it is the same author as Mirror to Mirror. Highly recommend both of these books. Both of them are on Scribd, loved them, yes. And very, very, very different from that, I finished The Devil You Know by Elizabeth O'Roark, and I'm so happy that I picked this up. Like, I am just ready to read all the addicting romances on my TBR. This is absolutely one of them. It was so good. I don't know what I told you. It is hate to love, office romance, lawyers. Like I said, I don't particularly care for the lawyer part. There's not a lot of it, and like I didn't care. Like I was just like loving the story and I didn't care about that. So it was incredible. I did give it 5 stars. There were some moments when I felt like, oh, this is not like perfect. little issues, little moments that just did not fully, like, I did not vibe with. The conflict was annoying, but I felt like overall the two main characters had so much chemistry. It was so hot and so good. I feel like Elizabeth O'Roark writes like slow burn romance, but in ways that don't feel super dragged on, and like it is just so good. So if you've been looking for, if you like office romance, hate to love, and like fun, steamy romances, you need to pick this up. And also, yeah, the only thing I probably mentioned already, but I have to say it again, is that I hate that it's not dual point of view. I understand some people like it, I do not. In romance, I just want both of the main characters' point of view, and I really felt like here, I loved the hero. I think he was actually my favorite one in this whole series so far, because he actually, like, he definitely fell first, and he knew he wanted the heroine, and he made it clear. And the heroine in this actually was the one who kind of like did not want to go forward with the relationship and kind of like tried not to, you know, succumb to her feelings because she was very badly hurt before. And so it was definitely, that was really nice to see, because I feel like in Elizabeth's books and other authors, it's usually the hero who, you know, has a difficult past, he doesn't want to get close, you know, all that shit. So that was great. Hi everyone. So I need to do an outro to this video. I have been extremely behind on editing, so I'm sorry it's very abrupt. I'm obviously in Edinburgh, and I filmed this way too long ago. And I didn't really end up doing a proper outro because I kind of ended up spontaneously deciding to do a 24-hour readathon like before leaving, but it was like I decided it to like 2 days before, and it did not work out, but it just kind of disrupted this vlog. But you know, whatever. I am here to just update you on the only book that I didn't wrap up my thoughts on, which is the Kismet Connection. I was just like, I'm not updating you on that book in here. I did feel like I filmed a clip for it, but I can't find it, so oh well. So I want to talk about that. So we're gonna do that in a second. But yeah, I filmed this a while ago and I've just been so behind on editing and I need to put my shit together, so I'm working on it. But yeah, I did not end up reading any other books. And before I forget, I did read Part of Your World after this, but I will be talking about this in a different vlog. So that is coming soon. Just not yet, not in this video. But yeah, I did not end up reading it back home because I did not end up reading any of the physical books. Who's surprised? But you know, I did end up reading incredible books, including Kismet Connection. So this book is now absolutely one of my favorite books I've ever read. I adored it with my whole heart, and I really wish like I could find the clip where it was like right after I finished it, but I'm definitely going to be buying a copy of this book the second that it's available, because it's like not only, you know, it's one of the prettiest books I've ever seen and one of the best books I've ever read. So like, and I need all of you to add it to your TBR. Like, oh my gosh, you know, especially of course, if you love YA contemporary romance, you are going to adore this. But even people who don't really read a lot of YA, I'm just like, please pick this up, because like it is definitely one of the best I've ever read, especially recently, but just like ever in general. Because oh my gosh, both Arjun and Madhuri are such incredible characters. Like, they're so well developed, they feel so human, and they're so wonderful. The Grumpy Sunshine is incredible. It feels like, you know, their decisions and actions really reflect what it's like to be a teenager, but at the same time, it is so romantic, so sweet, so beautiful. Their love is just like, it made my heart melt. Like, I passed out, like, emotionally. I was just like, this is the sweetest thing, and just so lovely and wonderful. Like, I don't even have enough words to express, you know, how amazing it is. And just like the two of them immediately became some of my favorite characters. If you love cinnamon roll heroes, please read this. I just loved this. The plot, it is like fast paced and exciting and fun, and there are so many meaningful messages in here while it's still just like a super fun, sweet story. And it's perfect. It's literally fucking perfect. And I am going to be doing a recommendation video soon on like something like my favorite YA romances that I've recently read in the past like 2 years or something. And this is most certainly it. So please pick it up. It's coming out, I think, around like June 12th or something. I don't have my phone here, but please, please, please pre-order it, add it to your TBR, buy it when it's out. Like, you're not gonna regret it. And also like the cover, come on, you can't tell me this is not one of the most beautiful covers you've ever seen in your life. So 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 stars, incredible. Like, imagine it, you know, just being on these shelves. I can't wait. So that's gonna be it. I feel like I ended up reading, while I didn't read any physical books, I read so much, and I gave you, you know, a lot of cat content. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I always love filming back home, and at this point I am gonna go there probably in the next, like, you know, month or two. So that time I'm gonna try to edit faster, because this was like a month ago, so could be worse, but yeah. And if you made it this far, leave a star emoji down below, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!